Ranked third in the world, pro bodybuilder Chris Cormier makes a living out of having the perfect body. Like many professional bodybuilders, he trains in the epicenter of the body beautiful, Los Angeles, California. With its 8 movie studios and countless television production companies, LA can promise stardom to those with the right talent and the right look.
Los Angeles is obsessed by celebrities, by the Hollywood industry, and by the bodies that make it work.
Some earn it. Others will do whatever it takes, even risk life-threatening surgery to get it.
There's a lot of pressure when you see everybody's beautiful, you know, and you look at yourself and you're like, well, I wish I was that pretty.
Because everyone in LA wants to be picture perfect. The sport of professional bodybuilding is integral to LA's obsession with health and fitness.
Everyone has migrated here from all over the world to be around the best, to train with the best.
Just around the corner from the world-renowned Muscle Beach in Venice, California, is the infamous Gold's Gym.
I go to Gold's because of the atmosphere, the who's who's there, it's like the Hollywood of bodybuilding.
Although his training is at its most intense 3 months leading up to a contest, Chris Cormier trains year-round.
You're doing appearances in the off-season when you have to do posing and different things. So you never want to get those extra bulges and everything.
One of almost 2,000 serious bodybuilders living and training in LA, Chris has been working out for 20 years, since he was just 11 years old.
I started training because most of my friends were a little older than I was, so I wanted to catch up to all my friends for football. I just passed them, and I just kept going and kept going.
Hey, Chris. What's up? How are you? That's it.
Chris's trainer is Charles Glass, himself a former weightlifter.
There you go.
Glass has been working with professional bodybuilders since 1983 and is recognized as one of the world's premier trainers.
All right, here we go. One. Come on.
Right now, his
2.
top students are Flex Wheeler, ranked number
3.
2 in the world, and Chris,
5.
who he's been training for several years.
1.
My workout with Charles
2.
Glass lasts about,
3.
say, an hour. We train 4 days on, 1 day off. He wanted to help me further my career. He thought I had good potential to do a lot better than I've been
4.
doing.
5. Chris doesn't really have weak body parts. What we're trying to do is perfect what the other guys don't have. 1, last 1, 2, good. Every year we see him gain a little bit more weight, and he gets a lot harder, and last year was his best year because he moved from number 6 up to number 3. 2.
Bodybuilding competitors are judged on 2 levels.
I'm trying to develop his body now perfect.
1 is body symmetry. Chris's upper body must be in balance
2.
with his lower, and his left side with his right.
3. 4. Each one of these plates weighs 45 pounds, and we'll put probably like 6 on both sides just to warm up.
The other is muscle development. Chris must be able to show off all 273 pounds.
This is overall a very complete back movement. Notice how wide that is? Blocks out the sun for you.
It also means that in the last few weeks before a contest, Chris must get his body fat down to about 6%.
This is one of Chris's favorite exercises.
Compared to the average of between 16 and 22%.
I think I'm a good trainer because I try to pay attention to the person's body, and we try to figure out their body types before working on the body. We figure out what they're missing, and also how can we put the most size with the least amount of effort.
The objective now is to repeat last year's win at the Ironman contest. And then to go for first place at the prestigious Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic.
So if we can put a little bit more muscle mass on there through his diet and also lifting heavy, you'll see a different person on stage.
Studio City, California. Right in the backyard of Universal, one of Hollywood's most famous movie studios, is a small and unassuming exercise studio. The goal here is not to build muscle, but to streamline the body.
I have been working with weight loss, nutrition, and diet for 20 years in Los Angeles, a town that is completely fickle, that jumps from fad to fad, that gets bored very easily, and I continue to be successful because I'm honest, I'm truthful, I'm direct, and I produce wonderful results. Okay, yeah, now we can make the appointment. Yeah, tell her to call the front desk.
Yolanda Bergman is a no-nonsense food guru to the stars. She's an author, a TV personality, and an expert on LA lifestyles.
JT, is he out of town? There are 2 reasons that Los Angeles is obsessed with health, fitness, body, weight loss, the whole thing. Number 1 is the Hollywood industry.
I think he's coming back the end of August.
The second reason is the climate. Anytime you're living in a climate that's warmer, you're more exposed physically. So the climate affects the obsession, but most of all, Los Angeles is obsessed by celebrities, by the Hollywood industry, and by the bodies that make it work.
And Yolanda has worked with some of Hollywood's most famous bodies, including Carrie Fisher and Madeline Stowe.
When one celebrity becomes highly successful, Callista Flockhart from Ally McBeal, and she is emaciated, it sets a standard. 2, here we go. Hold it flat back.
Bergman, author of the Food Cop series of books, teaches lifestyle changes to anyone.
To the center. Pull it out. Reach, Beth. Reach, Bonnie Bloom.
Not just celebrities. Her newest client is a yo-yo dieter who's ready to make a change. At the Chapman Medical Center south of Los Angeles, Keone and Ali Kayawahia are about to make a radical lifestyle change. Traditional dieting hasn't worked for them.
Moment of truth.
So to lose weight, they're resorting to a more drastic solution: surgery.
249 today, Alice.
At nearly 350 pounds, Ali needs to lose approximately half her body weight to stay healthy.
Okay, Allie, what I'm going to do is measure your waist, your hips, and your wrist, and then after that we'll take some photographs so we have your befores for the chart, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
But Ali is not alone. Her husband, Keone, is also extremely overweight. Despite his towering 6'6" frame.
It's looking like 6'9", 3.5.
Okay, that was not fun.
In the past 2.5 years, Ali has gained 100 pounds. Keone has gained even more.
That hurt.
I know.
We overindulged a little bit too much. That's okay, we're having surgery.
But bariatric surgery is no laughing matter. The procedure will reduce their stomach capacity by 90%. This will force the couple to eat less, and in the process, enable them to lose weight.
We love to eat.
We love to eat. And we just enjoy food. You know, we love the taste, we love the flavor, we love everything that it's very comforting.
This test is going to measure your percentage of body fat.
The average healthy person's body fat is between 18 and 24%. Ali's body fat analysis came in at nearly 50%. Keone at just under 44%.
Okay.
That was unpleasant.
Hi, how are you? Hi.
Bariatric surgeon Dr. Milton Owens will operate on both Ali and Keone. He has performed over 1,000 of these surgeries.
Sit down, and with the tendency to gain a lot of weight is largely genetic, and it's not your fault.
The standards for obesity are based on a number called the body mass index.
The difference is it.
A body mass index of 25 is normal. 30 or above is overweight or obese.
If you're 40 or above, you're morbidly obese, and 50 and 60 and 70, which is the range that Keone and Ali are in, is supermorbidly obese. We really don't have names for those extra levels. Bypass stomach.
About 43,000 similar bariatric surgeries are performed every year in the U.S.
Subsequent 10 feet or so of small intestine, digestion and absorption occurs.
Weight loss for the couple will begin immediately after surgery.
It's And you can expect about a 75% excess body weight loss in a year and a half to 2 years. It'll be pretty dramatic.
The surgery is called a distal gastric bypass. The top part of the 2-quart stomach is separated from the rest of it, forming a 2-ounce pouch. The pouch is then connected directly to a limb of the small intestine, giving the food a place to go.
It's about as risky as having a hysterectomy or your gallbladder out or some other kind of operation on your stomach. And you have approximately 1 chance in 200 of actually dying from some complication of surgery.
You guys think you're ready for this procedure?
I'm ready to lose it. I'm just not ready to go through it.
Yes.
But with the promise of a new life ahead, there is no turning back.
We have to call Mom. Oh, we have to call Mom because it's getting late. Today I'm really nervous. Getting close to surgery time. I'm having surgery in about 2 hours. I wanted to call her before we went.
In a hotel right around the corner from the UCLA Medical Center in Westwood.
Hi, Mom. Well, today's a big day.
40-year-old Debbie Campbell is getting ready for a rare operation.
Yeah, I am.
She is hoping the procedure will restore her looks with a new type of artificial eye.
Well, I love you too, Mom. Mom says the angels are watching out for me.
Sisters Tricia and Karen will be there in support.
That's not you two. I love you. Okay, bye-bye. Okay, in 1980, I lost my eye to a type of cancer. I was 20 at the time, and that was a really big blow.
Debbie wore a glass eye for a while.
Don't fight. Your eye's soft, spongy tissue. It's not made to have marbles in there. And one time I sneezed at work, and it flew across the floor. I was so embarrassed.
Right. Which way do we go?
Today, doctors will implant 3 titanium metal posts around her eye socket. In a few months, a custom-made latex prosthesis will snap onto them.
Going across the street.
UCLA is the only clinic on the West Coast making this type of prosthesis. Debbie found out about it through an article in People magazine.
They had a woman here who lost more than just her eye. She lost her forehead, her eye, and her nose. And I figured if she had the courage to go through something like this, I could too. I could too.
Treat us like we're patients.
So with this surgery, I can go outside with 2 eyes, and it's just gonna be great. Okay, just sit. We're backing out now.
The 3 sisters make their way directly to pre-op.
Something open in the back. Everything comes off, and you can put all your goods in this plastic bag. I'll bring you some warm blankets in just a bit.
My sister's been incredible. Absolutely incredible. In fact, I just told her it could have happened to any of us, any one of us. And it was her, and she said, because I'm special. And, I mean, that's Debbie.
Well, my surgery has been delayed a little bit, and I'm ready for it. I'm really ready for it. I wish it wasn't delayed. I wish they could get me in there and get me out. I'm really nervous, but I'm ready. I'm ready.
Cheryl Caponetta, a facialist living in Studio City,
Hi. How are you doing?
Good.
is looking for help from Yolanda Bergman.
Well, I've seen a lot of clients of yours in my practice, and I can see their bodies changing. They came in, they were really a lot heavier than they are now, and it just seems like they're shrinking, and I want to shrink with them.
Like so many women in LA, Cheryl wants to get in shape,
Wait on.
I've tried everything.
Tried everything in the book. All right, well, I'm going to ask
but hasn't had much success.
Weight loss, especially for women, is emotional because it's about our vanity. It's about our bodies. It's about our sexuality. All right, well, I'm going to ask you a series of medical questions first just to get a history of where your body is.
Before Yolanda decides to take on a client, they get the food cop 3rd degree.
High blood pressure.
No.
No hardening of the arm, nothing.
No,
Okay,
nothing.
great.
An exhaustive questionnaire that deals with medical as well as lifestyle issues.
I think it was like 190 or 200.
You were around 200. At
Then
that time, did they give
it's
you a
the
fat
all-important fat test.
You ready? We'll do the body fat analysis now. Okay. All right? This is where my finger is.
The equipment uses infrared radiation to distinguish between fat and lean muscle cells. The result surprises Cheryl.
Not as bad as you thought. Okay, and I'll tell you why. Because you exercise.
Her body fat analysis comes to only 24.3%.
I want you to fish. Really, really poor is 32. Really good is 22. You're in the middle of good and excellent fat.
The analysis also reveals that Cheryl is consuming nearly 2,300 calories a day. And for Cheryl, it's too much.
This machine is telling you, Cheryl, my dear, that in order to stay alive, just survive, you only need 1,500 calories a day.
Armed with all that information, Yolanda custom designs a program for Cheryl.
For me to help you just lose weight is no longer my goal.
Cheryl will also have to get fit and healthy in the process.
My goal is to help you enhance your life, create a relationship with food that gives you the body you want and a food lifestyle you want.
At 700 pounds, Keone has to lose nearly half his own body weight to be healthy again.
Thank God I'm 6'6".
Okay,
If I was
sweetie.
5'9", you can roll me around. You do it better than I do.
I know I do. That's why I do the pillows. That Christmas.
The couple's obesity has affected their general health. Allie suffers from asthma, hypertension, and gallstones. Keone from diabetes and life-threatening blood clots in his legs.
I can barely make it up the stairs, but I remember when we first moved in that we thought, oh, okay, yeah, this is going to be good. We'll get our daily exercise whether we like it or not because the restroom's up here.
And apparently he still got hot during the night, and he had...
Keone is so overweight, he can no longer lie down to sleep.
Because it feels like the weight's just crushing me. I could feel just, I get suffocated.
I'm scared for him all the time, and I'm glad to be with him and supporting him, and that's one of the reasons that I wanted to have the surgery too, was so that we could sort of go through everything together and experience what each other is going through. And you're so cute.
I want to spend the rest of my life with my wife. I want to die early, you know, and leave her to have all this to herself. Just kidding.
Our palace.
Our palace.
The couple has given up their favorite foods, and after surgery will be on low-calorie, high-nutrition protein shakes for 5 weeks.
We made room for these boxes here.
Oh boy.
That we're gonna have to drink. We're gonna be on these for 5 weeks.
Really looking forward to it. Right?
I'm really looking forward to it though. God. But we're gonna do the best we can. That's all I have to say about that.
All right.
Cheers.
You first.
I love you, babe.
Love you too. You first.
It's so tasty too.
When it comes to the workforce, Allie, attending law school, and Keone, who's an engineer, find their appearance is often a liability.
I mean, I've been in interviews where I sound great over the phone, but as soon as they see me, you kind of get the feeling that they're not going to hire you just because of the weight.
I know that in our society that attractiveness is still measured by the size that you are, but you know, my husband's the most important thing to me in the world, and as long as he thinks I'm beautiful, that's really all that matters.
Baby, you're more than beautiful.
Thank you, sweetie.
Hopefully, when we have the surgery and we're down to our ideal weight, that they'll look at me because I'm a tall guy, not because I'm just, you know, a mountain of a man.
But their surgery will by no means be a joyride.
I'm nervous only because I've spent many years working in hospitals and I know everything that can go wrong. That makes me nervous, but I have full faith and confidence in Dr. Owens and his team that they're going to do an excellent job.
In less than 25 hours, Allie and Keone's lives will undergo unprecedented change. Neither can predict the outcome or even how they will cope with the final results. Beverly Hills, California, famous for world-class shopping, movie star mansions, and some of the most beautiful people in the world. A barely 5 square mile area on the west side of LA that is also renowned for its plastic surgeons.
Well, how are you? Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you.
You excited?
I'm very excited.
All right, well, great.
LA native 27-year-old Christine Wigmanage
Well, one of the things
is
we wanna
visiting with
talk
facial,
about today is
plastic, and
exactly
reconstructive surgeon Dr. Paul
what we wanna
Nassif.
do and what you want.
When you look at me from the side, that everything like just looks normal, you know, like I know I don't look abnormal, but you know, just everything is just more even.
Christine wants her nose and chin fixed.
Sloping in.
Now, is this something that has anyone teased you about your nose? Or is this something that you've wanted to? Or is anybody pushing you? Or your parents pushing you? Or?
No, my parents are not pushing me at all. It's just something that I've always wanted ever since I was like, 13 to 14.
In America,
when you start
over
kinda
46,000 of
looking at
these
your
operations are
appearance and,
performed annually. It is among the top 10 most popular procedures.
Which means I'm hiding your chin.
Dr. Nassif examines Christine's profile and begins to explain what can be done to fix it.
It appears that it sticks out a lot because your chin is set back. And so to create harmony of the lower part of your face, if we bring out the chin a little bit and bring that down just a little bit.
A facial harmony with the most natural look possible.
Your friends will say, hey, something's different about you, but we don't want them to know that you look like you have a nose job per se.
Yeah.
The most dramatic results will occur in a period of about anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks.
The other part of Christine's surgery will involve a silicone chin implant.
Because when you put in a chin implant, it sticks out, this becomes a little bit more tight.
Oh, good.
Okay? Do you happen to have any questions for me?
No.
Okay. Well, I'll see you in a week then.
Anxious to tell her mother about her meeting with Dr. Nassif,
Hi, Christine.
Christine heads to the restaurant her family owns in Pasadena.
How did the interview go? The consultation?
Oh, it went excellent. I wish you guys could have been there.
Christine was very self-conscious about her profile and her nose. She'd always when she'd laugh, she'd, cover her face up and she'd wear her hair kind of down. And when I saw that it was really bothering her and her social skills and everything, I figured, well, we better do something about it.
Consultation went perfect. I love Ashley Judd. I think she's so beautiful, and I think her side profile and her nose and everything, she just looks perfect, and I just think that I would love to look like that.
I'm sure this is going to really help her self-esteem a lot. You want to go in the back and get some tabbouleh?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay,
It's nice
let's
and
go.
fresh.
Christine's mom, Alexis, is no stranger to plastic surgery herself.
My mother put up with me getting my nose done. Had my chin done. Yeah.
It's going to be great.
Yeah, I'm just
With the surgery on her daughter just a week away,
gonna look a lot
Alexis
better
is
than it does
nervous.
now.
Yeah. My side profile is really going to change.
And I'm going to be very nervous. I'm going to be nervous until the bandages are off, until I can really see what it looks like.
So he said that he's going just to take off a little here.
But I think she's going to do fine. We want there to be a change, but subtle. I'm excited for her. I can't wait to see how it's going to look and how it's going to change her.
As for Christine, the surgery is an opportunity to fulfill a lifelong dream.
Perfect.
I'm so glad. Are you hungry now?
Yes, I'm starving.
Good.
It's going to be great. Everything that I've ever wanted is going to happen.
Chris Cormier's lifestyle as a professional bodybuilder revolves around one thing.
It's not about how much weight you can lift, it's how your body looks.
And looking good comes at an outrageous price.
Typically, I spend maybe at least $1,000 or $2,000 a week. But if you think about it, it sounds expensive, but you only have one body. I moved over to Marina.
Chris's body is his temple, and he only gets out what he puts in, especially leading up to a competition.
Oh, just getting ready for the Olympia and stuff. Competitions a year, I would say I do about 4 competitions a year. Yeah.
2 of these competitions can earn Chris $100,000 each, if he places first. The Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic in the spring, and the Mr. Olympia in the fall.
Mr. Olympia is what we consider the Super Bowl of bodybuilding. That's where you get the world rankings, which I'm ranked number 3 right now.
At this level, diet and nutrition are everything. In LA, it's easy to find restaurants that cater to bodybuilders and their unique nutritional needs.
Turkey chili.
Most people eat 3 meals a day. Chris has 6 to 7.
I have a protein shake right when I wake up. 2 hours later, I have 10 egg whites and white rice.
He also has chicken, steak, potatoes, and salad. Whereas a healthy diet would normally constitute 30% fat, 30% carbohydrates, and 40% protein,
Chris's protein level is probably like 60% of his diet, where his carbohydrates could either be 30 to 35%, and then the fat would be the balance.
giving athlete and trainer the absolute best opportunity for success.
Pretty much you become a sculptor because you're trying to play with the whole guy's body and try to figure out what's best fit his needs. All right, 1.
Chris is judged on how close to perfection his body is for his livelihood.
Chris and all other bodybuilders are judged on their symmetry and their muscularity, and also their presentation. So what we're trying to do is improve his symmetry a little bit more, get him to have that small waist, have nice sweeping thighs, and have his body come into a V shape. So we're working toward that right now.
At the San Pedro Peninsula Hospital, just south of downtown Los Angeles, it's operation day for Ali and Keone Kaiawahia.
I love you. Love you too.
Keone's family gives Ali moral support.
It's gonna be fine.
Yeah. Good.
Ali's stomach reduction surgery is scheduled first, but her thoughts are with her husband.
I will. I just worry about him and he worries about me, but I already had my crying episode, so just anxious to get in and get it over with. I think being separated from my husband, that was the hardest thing, was to be apart from each other. There's always that thought when you say goodbye and you're going for surgery that maybe this is going to be the last time I see him if something goes terribly wrong. That made it really hard, but that's it. It's the hardest thing.
You want a warm blanket?
Nope, it feels really terrific.
Okay, very good.
Thank you very much, Nancy. I appreciate it. I can't wait to see him, and I can't wait for us to just have this new life together. That gets me through.
Okay, I'm gonna be taking your arm out of the sleeve here.
Because of Ali's size, her surgery will be relatively simple. For Dr. Owens and his team, Keone will be the real challenge. Work begins on getting Ali ready for surgery.
You feel a poke.
Ali gets wheeled into the OR. Dr. Owens and his OR team are set.
You want to come in? We're in the operating room with Ali and about to begin her surgery. And we will do a removal of her gallbladder and a distal gastric bypass.
The abdominal incision is made using a scalpel. Dr. Owens continues cutting through the 3 to 4 inch layer of fat using an electrocautery, an instrument that uses electricity to heat up the tip. It cuts through the skin layers with minimal bleeding.
We're going to pull it apart here because the body seals at birth in the midline, and it's easy to kind of get a separation at the midline, and there's less bleeding.
Because she suffers from gallstones, Ali's gallbladder is located
I can feel the gallstone down here in the gallbladder.
and removed. Dr. Owens continues with the stomach reduction part of the procedure, which is done inside the abdominal cavity.
Okay, so we've completed the intestinal portion of the surgery now, and the intestine has been taken up and sutured to the little stomach pouch, and then we've reconnected the intestine below.
Ali's wound is carefully irrigated.
For a wound infection, it's subcutaneous fatty tissue. So we wash out any little pieces of fat that may have broken free. Put in about 1 or 2 more stitches, and then we're
And the incision closed. Dr. Owens uses a special type of surgical glue that acts as a second skin to seal out infection. Within half an hour, it'll be Keone's turn.
And this is basically crazy glue. And that's the big wound converted back to an incision now. Now it's all over but the weight loss. We're doing Keone, I guess, in the next 30, 40 minutes.
Yolanda Bergman, nutritionist to the stars, is helping Cheryl Caponetta make a healthy lifestyle change.
Everybody's so body conscious here in LA, and it's just, you know, I don't want to be really skinny, but I don't want to be heavy either.
Hey, I'm here.
For Cheryl, that change begins with a house visit and a fridge makeover.
Here's the big deal. You open the refrigerator and the truth is revealed, right?
Yes,
Let's see what we got in here, okay? Well, first of all, we talked about sour cream, when it's very easy to get a no-fat sour cream.
I want to lose about 40 pounds, but after talking to Yolanda, you know, she said I only had to lose about 25.
Those are just plain fattening. Here's a perfect example of what I call foam rubber bread. This really has no nutritional value, okay? Gets a whole grain wheat bread, not something that is enriched.
Yolanda objects to Cheryl's choice of granola bars because they contain marshmallows and chocolate
here's
chips.
The thing about, well, this is not a granola bar, this is a candy bar. So make sure we have some oatmeal or some of the waffles that we got at the store. But this is just another candy bar, adding more sugar and fat to your diet. I would say 90% of the food in the market today is candy. That's why America's children are getting so fat.
Yolanda wants Cheryl to cut down her sugar and fat intake and avoid high-calorie convenience foods.
Well, now these you know are fattening. Nothing wrong with a cookie once in a while, but we got you those graham crackers. Use those instead of those. Those are just plain fattening.
I think it's important to do this so I feel better about myself.
Mayonnaise is fat, period. There are no fat mayonnaises. Switch, don't ever go back. I still maintain that a low-fat diet is healthy. Let's get some common sense going. Common sense is not that sexy to sell anymore, but that's a truth I still stand on. That's about it. I think you're looking good. Let's get some
Cheryl's favorite pantry foods must also be replaced by low and non-fat choices.
I tell you, that's got to go in the garbage. This is a non-dairy creamer. It's hydrogenated powdered oil. Take that out of here. Peanut butter, as I said on my first consultation I ever did in my life to the client, grow up. Peanut butter is for children. Peanut butter is fattening. Adults who have to lose weight don't get peanut butter. Said and done. Cheryl, this stuff is history. You're starting your new life. Give it away to someone else.
Okay.
Because we're going for the new Cheryl.
Okay, great.
All right?
Okay.
Let's go.
You know, I hope to get dressed and be able to wear what I put on first, not the fifth thing that I tried on that I look terrible in.
Now Cheryl is ready to eat 3 healthy meals a day and get regular exercise. Her goal is to lose 1 pound per week.
Since my meeting with Yolanda, I'm feeling better about myself.
Up!
But I'm taking it slow and feeling good. Feeling really good.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm gonna mark one more thing for you.
Christine is also on her way to the perfect LA look.
I just want to mark in the middle of your lip.
In a few hours, the face she has known all her life will be changed forever.
Okay, so we're going to slowly dissect down to the chin. And the mandible.
Once the chin area is prepared, a silicone implant is inserted into place.
So the implant is in. The next thing we're going to do is, now I need irrigation, get it done irrigation. 2 things keep the implant in place. The first thing is a very small pocket we've done.
Dr. Nassif then sutures the implant in place.
Hold on. The second thing that keeps it in place is suturing it to the midline on the lower part of the mandible. That's what we're going to do now.
The chin implant is perfectly positioned and the incision is closed. Now Dr. Nassif begins work on Christine's nose.
So I'm making a plane in between the soft tissue of the nose and a cartilage.
The rhinoplasty will do 2 things: reshape the tip and soften the bump on the bridge of her nose.
Now you're going to see more of the nose exposed. Cutting up the 2 single skin hooks.
Dr. Nassif then molds the tip by snipping away the cartilage.
One thing when we're doing a rhinoplasty, we don't want to change the look. We just want to soften it.
The doctor shaves the bump on the bridge of her nose, then breaks and resets it.
We're going to start the closure of the incisions now.
3 hours and $5,000 later, the procedure is almost complete. The final step is to suture and tape the nose.
Taping of the nose is very important. That takes out some of the swelling of the nose. You can see she's starting to get black and blue already.
A nose splint is then put in place.
Okay, we're finished, and I'm very happy with the result we got with Christine.
In a few minutes, a battered and bruised Christine starts to wake up.
Christine, are you awake, honey? Everything went perfect.
Thank you.
Okay.
It's going to be 2 weeks before Christine sees the result of her chin implant and nose job.
Of course. I'm gonna keep your head over your bed elevator, what you're doing. Everything went perfect though, okay? You just rest.
Take your showers, alcohol.
Okay. All right, honey. See you in a little bit.
Okay.
Bariatric surgery patient Ali Kayawahia's operation went well. Now a groggy Ali is moved to the recovery area.
Allie, your pain medicine's going in now. It's going to get better, okay?
As her husband Keone waits in pre-op for his turn.
I guess my biggest fear is I'm gonna die. You know.
Surgery is the couple's last-ditch attempt to lose weight.
Allie's surgery went really well. Nice and smooth. She did well. No blood loss to speak of, and she's in the recovery room now, waking up.
The good news about Ali's surgery does little to comfort Keone.
Take a few deep breaths and just think of it as a trip, an e-ticket in operating room land. Everything's gonna be fine.
Thanks, doctor.
Yeah.
Because of Keone's obesity, anesthesiologist Dr. Bala takes longer than usual locating an artery for the blood gas and blood pressure probe.
Okay, the worst is over now. Almost ready to
Oh, did you
take
do
this.
it?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
she did it. I didn't even feel it. I'll be rooting for you, man. Thanks, Phil.
Keone is wheeled to the OR. He has to get himself onto the operating table.
Now, you're gonna swing one leg at a time? Yep. Okay. There you go. Okay.
Okay, wait a minute.
Wait, you want us to pick it up? Yeah, come on. Okay.
The next challenge is to insert a breathing tube while Keone is awake. It is the safest method of intubation for very obese patients.
She's got a fiber optic scope, and she's putting it down through his throat into his airway, and then she's going to slide that tube that's around the scope over the scope and into his airway. And then that will be used to ventilating him during surgery. And
Take a deep breath in.
After several failed attempts,
the awake intubation was a matter of extra precaution. Turned out to be too difficult to do, and so she just went ahead and did it the more traditional way. And now he's fine.
Keone is safely asleep. Dr. Owens and his team can now go ahead with the surgery. At the UCLA Medical Center in West LA, Debbie is also ready for her state-of-the-art eye surgery. Dr. Earl Fryman, head of the oral maxillofacial department, leads the surgical team.
She was an excellent candidate for several reasons. First of all, it's been 20 years since her original tumor, so the chance of recurrence is very low. Second of all, she didn't require any additional treatment such as radiation therapy.
Dr. Frymiller is being assisted by Dr. Tara Agaloo, who first saw Debbie over a year ago.
Can we scrub?
I was surprised that she hadn't been wearing anything for 20 years, and she seemed so nice and well adjusted with such nice family members that were really supportive. So I figured that that was how she had done so well over this long time.
At 2 p.m., the surgery begins.
Even though she's asleep, we still use local anesthesia because the local anesthetic also has a vasoconstrictor that will help reduce some bleeding. Okay, let's go ahead and get the drill set up now.
Holes are first drilled into the bone around Debbie's eye for the titanium metal implants.
We irrigate continually when we're drilling in order not to overheat the bone.
The hole is ready. The next step is to tap some threads on the inside of the hole into which the implant will be placed.
Now this is the implant itself, from this flange up. So only this much will be actually in her bone.
The 3 titanium implants are screwed into the bone.
And the wrench, the tightening wrench. I can feel it tightening up as I screw it down.
After 4 hours, all 3 implants are secure in place. The surgery seems a success.
Okay, let's wash these out very well now, and then we'll close.
Debbie is wheeled into post-op. It isn't long before Dr. Freimiller gives her the good news.
Everything went really well. Went perfectly.
Our goal was to be able to place 3 implants around the orbit, and we were able to get 3 implants, all of them the 4-millimeter length, which are the longest of the craniofacial implants that are made.
Debbie spends the next 3 days recovering, then returns to have her stitches removed by Dr. Freimiller.
If anything hurts, just say something, okay?
Actually, if somebody could start screaming, my sisters would probably like to hear it.
Debbie's wound is healed, and there's little bleeding.
Okay. That's it. We'll need to see you back in around 4 months now.
Okay.
And at that point, we'll take some x-rays and get you scheduled up then for the next procedure. That'll be about 5 months from now.
Okay, great, great.
All right.
I can't wait.
Okay.
The surgery is the first step.
Well, it's all over now.
I didn't cry.
Now, Debbie will meet with Dr. Eleni Roumanis for a trial fitting of her new artificial eye. It's an opportunity to see herself with 2 eyes for the first time in 2 decades.
Yeah, you might as well go right underneath there and
700-pound Keone Kaiawahia is about to undergo an operation
And can you tilt left side up on the table a little bit?
that will surgically reduce the size of his stomach and the length of his small intestine.
Okay, you can see that if the incision is between the breastbone and the tummy button, in most people it would be about like that. In Keone, it's 3 times that long. Okay, I guess we're in business. Made a little skin incision and
Dr. Milton Owens uses an electrocautery to cut through layers of skin and fat.
okay, let's try it. Okay, now we're pulling on the fatty tissue right down below. Now, whereas Allie had about 3 to 4 inches, he's got about 5 or 6.
Dr. Owens locates where Keone's large and small intestines meet.
All this material up here is small intestine. This is where digestion and absorption occurs, characteristic.
He will reduce Keone's intestine from 20 to 4.5 feet.
Okay, so now this instrument is a stapler and seals off the intestine and cuts it in 2.
The small piece of intestine will connect to the stomach pouch. Shortening it will dramatically reduce the amount of calories Keone can absorb.
We're connecting the 2 pieces of intestine down here.
The intestinal bypass is ready.
We're going to tilt his body so that everything gets pulled down this way. It improves exposure for me in the upper abdomen.
Dr. Owens now reduces Keone's stomach capacity by about 90%, from 2 quarts to 2 ounces, by stapling off the top part.
And we're going to hook these 2 things up so that food can go from one to the other.
The pouch is sewn to the 4.5 feet of small intestine measured out earlier.
Things sure are deeper in Keone than usual. Okay,
Several hours later, the procedure is finished. All that's left is to sew Keone up.
So the retractor's gone. We are stitching him up, and yes, the operation is essentially over. Let's see, maybe one more here, and I got it.
Finally, surgical glue closes the incision to keep out infection.
Now this seals the wound. That's it. Finish. Okay, here we go. Watch his arm.
When handled, the digestive system stops working for a few days. Keone and Allie will remain in the hospital until their intestines recover.
But typically, it takes about 3 or 4 days.
After that, the couple should see quite dramatic results.
Well, in about 2 months, we can expect to see of the order of 150 pounds weight loss in Keone and maybe 100 pounds in Allie.
And within 2 years, the couple should lose up to 60% of their excess body weight. 3 days after having her stitches removed, Debbie visits UCLA's maxillofacial prosthetics clinic.
Hi. Dr. Romanis, did you meet my sister Tricia? You've met her, and this is my sister Karen.
Briefly.
Dr. Romanis is co-director of the clinic. She has made a wax model of what Debbie's prosthesis will eventually look like.
I was, but I was in the waiting room. See, look, she just has a box of eyes.
Oh, wow. Is this one Debbie's?
Yeah, this is for Debbie. But that's just the beginning stages because we just started to do this.
Will I have eyelashes?
Yep, you have eyelashes.
Oh, my goodness.
So once the sculpting is completed, then we'll go ahead and do the fine detail for the skin. So the more lines there are around the eye, the much easier it is for us to capture the proper look for it or the proper gaze.
The wax model will be used to make a stone mold. Then a silicone version that'll be painted to match Debbie's skin tone is created.
And from there, lashes are added and eyebrows. And we'll make lighter ones and darker ones. So during the winter, you'll wear a light. During the summer, the darker one. And then you could just pop the eye out. And move it from one to the other.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
Although the eye will have no movement,
This is just fascinating to me.
the prosthesis will give Debbie a more natural look.
I haven't had eyelashes in 20 years.
Dr. Romanis agrees to let Debbie try on the temporary wax model, despite her swollen eye.
That's okay. It's very swollen.
The doctor trims off some of the wax for a better fit.
Have you seen this?
No, I've never seen it on. Never.
Finally, the moment Debbie's waited for nearly 20 years.
You get to look.
Wow.
You know, this is only a half-hour effort here.
It's a look that most take for granted.
So this is just a very rough start. And
I got 2 eyes.
so
And you know what? They look even. When I'm looking in the mirror, they're... Doctor, you did a fabulous
we have a
job.
long way to go, but it'll get there.
It's a look that, to Debbie at least, is picture perfect.